Alright, so I know a lot of you have been waiting for this, so let's just get into it. But before we get to the minor scale, once again we'll visit the major scale, because like I said, most things in the music theory landscape will be derived from the major scale. So right here we have our good old C major scale. In our previous lessons, we also covered scale degrees. So let's add the scale degrees of this C major scale. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back to 1. But in the next octave, so it's the same thing. To get our minor scale, what we need to do is to just change a couple of notes in this major scale and just drop them down by a semitone. And those notes are the notes number 3, note number 6, and note number 7. So when I take them down by a semitone, this major scale, this C major scale, becomes a C minor scale. And it sounds like this now. Now, since we changed some of the notes of the major scale and dropped them down by a semitone, we also need to indicate that with the scale degrees so that we can find the formula of the minor scale. So 1 didn't change, so we leave it. 2 is also the same, but 3 went down by a semitone. So it's been flattened. So we have flat 3. 4 remained the same. 5 is also the same, but 6 dropped by a semitone, meaning again flattened. So flat 6. And the same thing happens to the 7th. So now it becomes a flat 7th. So a minor scale is not so different from a major scale in the sense that we just change the notes number 3, note number 6, and notes number 7. Now, when you're composing your own music, you don't really have to sit down and think about it because you can just go by ear, but it becomes very useful when you're learning an instrument. For example, I'm learning the keys right now, and instead of thinking of a whole step and half step pattern for a minor scale, I can just go, oh, we can just take the C major scale, change notes 3, 6, and 7, and all of a sudden we have a minor scale. Now, let us take a moment to look at the letters because the piano roll doesn't always show us the whole story. So we start with C, D, and then D sharp, at least that's what the piano roll is telling us, and then F, G, G sharp, A sharp, and then C once again. Now, spelling the C minor scale like this is not the end of the world because at the end of the day, the music is what matters. But I'm going to show you a way that makes things way easier, not only to make sense of the scales, but also to remember pretty much every scale. So as you can see on our screen, we have some letters that are duplicated, but we also have some letters that are missing. For example, we go from C to D and then D sharp, so we have 2 Ds but no E, and then we go to G and then G sharp, and then we have an A but there's no B that leads us back to C. So let's fix that. We'll delete this D, we'll also delete this G sharp and this A sharp. And instead of having those duplicate letters and missing letters, we'll bring back the E so that we have C, D, E, F, and then G. So we'll bring back the A and then B as well. So now everything flows in an alphabetical order. This is step 1. And in this case, note number 3 in our scale was dropped by a semitone. It was flattened. So the letters will also get flattened. And in this case, we have E flat. The same way we had the flat 3, we get an E that has been flattened, so E flat. And then we have F, G, and then A flat as well, and B flat. So now everything is smooth in terms of the alphabets because we have no duplicated letters and we also have no missing letters. And you realize that we still have the same letters of the C major scale, but with slight variation. So once again, our C minor scale sounds like this.